Hi there, Pisces. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your mid-November reading. Let's get right into it now. I was meditating on your energy before I turned on the camera, and I was hearing blowing off steam. Okay, so there's this sort of culmination for you, Pisces. I'm feeling it, and you pulled the exact three cards that Sagittarius pulled. The Mother of Wands upright. Okay, overlaying the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, overlaying the Ten of Cups in reverse. There is a focus on culmination, on creation, matters of manifestation. You have here the Chariot card, beautiful, right at the base. There is movement, there is change, there is physical translocation, absolutely for a number of you, and it is Thanksgiving season, so that may be a focus here. You have here that just slid right out like a letter, the Two of Cups. Upright, beautiful. This may be in the form of a letter, okay? Communication right at the base here. The way it popped out was just like a sort of like a letter in the letter chute. Ooh, okay, lots of cards just popping out, flopping out. You have the Seven of Cups upright. Okay, overlaying the Father of Cups in reverse. Overlaying the Eight of Cups in reverse. Overlaying the Eight of Wands upright. Okay, but I said swords. There may be a focus on perception, the perceptive quality to this change. Whatever it is you expected in a certain way, you've understood. There's been something about the cycle that it's moved you through emotionally. The emotional cycle that you have perhaps been moving through. And it's been very much a process, Pisces, a process of confronting the very experience of emotional experience. What it means to have an emotional experience. What does that mean? I'm hearing from start to end. What does that mean for me in an esoteric way? And so this may have been a process of seeking a sort of deeper meaning in with the process of emotional revelation. I'm hearing of satisfaction, of understanding what our experiences lead us to in a certain way. Okay, beautiful, the Ace of Cups, Pisces. My goodness, so beautiful, right over the Magician. Okay, right over the Five of Swords upright. Now let's set these cards out. These are your theme cards, okay? And there were a number of cards that just popped out on the ground. Let me grab them. Upside down, we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, backing out of that cyclical, I'm hearing cyclized way of thinking, where I'm hearing cyclone, where it just literally the thoughts, it's the swirl of thoughts. And there is a cycle to it I'm seeing, right? Sort of like if you imagine like a tornado, there is a sort of method and means to the madness in a certain way. There's a uniformity of those thoughts. They can be repetitive, I'm getting that. But at the same time, there's a certain chaos, okay, that it's a question of, do the thoughts create the chaos, or does the chaos cause the thoughts in a certain way, contribute to the thoughts? There is the recognition that every sword, I'm hearing every expectation that I hold of my emotional experience serves to further confound my inherent understanding of it. And you're releasing the cyclized way, yet again I'm hearing, of approaching matters of inherent emotional satisfaction, emotional, I'm hearing transformation, okay, the cycles, the emotional cycles. Now, there is a new beginning. I'm hearing you cut to the chase of what love means for you, of what emotional satisfaction is as an upheld sort of concept, even esoterically. What role does love play? And this can be, right, the love that you share with yourself, the love that you hold and you appreciate in you, the love that you are. And however this reflective relationship is perhaps surfacing for you, okay, it speaks directly to your desire to manifest. And you realize that it's not a matter of love necessarily, but love is relevant. The appreciation of, I'm hearing, the coherency of emotions, of desire, of what will emotionally satisfy us plays a certain role. And right, with the Magician card, we see very much that. We see the chalice here. We see every element present on this card. There's the recognition that to create, I must embody all of me. My propensity, I'm hearing, to speak, my propensity to collaborate, to create form, to understand deeply, esoterically, to share, I'm hearing, to give, to reflect, to appreciate emblems of love. The many ways in which love surfaces, resurfaces, is reflected. I'm ready, I'm hearing, to watch it present itself to me. So it's almost as if the Magician, this is a feeling I'm getting for you Pisces, is that the Magician has had its body, okay, and I'm hearing bodice, okay, bodice, sort of like the, like the lingerie, okay, piece that is almost like a Victorian style pinup sort of style, right, where it holds you in, okay. Generally, right, considered, regarded as a bit risque, right? Of course, right, depending on how you see it, but there is a shift in attention of the Magician that we see here, where, right, perhaps for so very long, the body has been turned away. Okay, attention was turned away from the prospect of, the opportunity for, of seeing, I'm hearing, love in its many varying forms. Finding that moment of reflection. Be it us, right, looking at ourselves in the mirror. I'm hearing, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm hearing, it's not like there's just one mirror. It's like you are reflected in everything. I almost said Aries, okay. Pisces. And it's almost as if, right, perhaps there's been a little bit of a reluctance, okay, for the Magician to turn its body towards, right, with seriousness, matters of emotional vulnerability. And it is by way of the confrontation of the reflective thoughts of love in an idealized way, in a hyper ideological way. What is love? And it's by way of the fine-tuning of the frequency of what matters about love to you. What does love mean to you? That brings you to recognize it. And it's like, once I understand what love is to me, once I understand what I connect with in matters of love, in matters of partnership, in matters of creation, then I can find it, then I can see it, then it can, right? I'm hearing, find I'm here, it's way to me. I'm hearing, I can't start anything if I'm just standing here. Okay, and I'm hearing that specifically for a number of you. I can't start something if I'm just standing here in silence, specifically in silence. And it's this self-reflective moment, Pisces, that opens up such an array of opportunity. Not because necessarily the avenues of creation are then created or opened in a certain way, so to speak, but because you want to find them. Because you're ready to be them. So what I'm getting for you, Pisces, is that there's been a certain conceptualized framework, okay, of matters that are otherwise inherently emotional. And it's been this sort of conundrum of, you've understood, it's not going to make sense. Thinking about it is not going to make sense. It's not leading me to a point of emotional understanding of the emotions. But I'm hearing it's been a reluctance. It's just simply been a matter of reluctance to perceive what we feel with our emotions. To understand what we feel, not by way of understanding them, but by way of feeling them through. I'm here to where they've originated. So it's almost like you're following the thread of feeling to its point of concept. Okay, so again, you're coming back to the conceptualization of certain idealizations, certain concepts, frameworks of emotional satisfaction, and that is reflective with a certain experience that has been unsatisfactory for you in a certain way, as I'm getting it for you, Pisces. Now, you have here the Son of Wands, okay, the Eight of Pentacles. Sagittarius pulled the Eight of Pentacles as well, prominent card for them. The Moon, okay, as well. Sagittarius pulled upright, okay, for you. Now, there's been this progress and this process and this movement and this motion forward. There's been a question of where it leads you. Absolutely. Okay, a question of where it leads you. But you realize that's not my point. To label, to define, to characterize, I'm hearing in human terms what kind of laborer I am. Okay. What I'm creating. It's like, and it's almost like this is what I'm like envisioning, Pisces, is you're like at a dinner party and someone's like, so what do you do? And you're like, it's like a little bit of like a defensive energy. Nothing. Like, I don't do anything. And it becomes this really esoteric sort of like conversation about, something that someone asked you, perhaps in a simple way. For you, you're like, I don't want to simplify it for the sake of communicating, okay, in terms that don't hold value for me. I'm hearing that don't hold. I'm hearing that are dissonant in a certain way. I'm hearing I'm done with entertaining those modes of thought, of thinking, of communicating, and you. Your focus is to move energetically from one gate to the next, from one step to the next. That you're like, and I'm hearing it's like a soldier, soldier. I'm hearing soldier salute. Okay, it's an absolute commitment, energetically, frequentially, to what it is you are creating that you may not understand exactly in a physical human way, so to speak. And again, it's like you don't even want to get involved in the conversations where people are asking you literally, what are you doing? Because then it causes you to step into the framework of thinking about it literally as a human, and you're like, well, that's not how I'm creating. I'm not creating it as in the paradigm simply as a human. What I'm creating has meaning for me that I don't yet know, and it's not my place to define quite yet. Perhaps ever. For what I create is a reflection of itself. Is a reflection of itself. And I don't want to get involved in how that reflection translates through time and space, as I understand that it's simply a matter of perception. And myself as the observer of it. I recognize my role in upholding its frequency. So you're working with energy, Pisces, okay? You're working with, I'm hearing light and shadow. There's something here that is I'm hearing for you, it's light work. Okay, it's light work, and I'm getting like you're like playing with lights, and I'm seeing someone almost like backstage, but I'm getting that it's like they're a technician, an electrician type, who is, and I see them working very fine-tunedly with wires that connect, I'm hearing frequencies, magnitudes of light, and electricity, energy. I'm hearing thought, intention, and the way that these lines are laid, I'm hearing to rest, is how the show moves on. I'm hearing if the show moves on, and the focus is so closely held on the minutia of the frequential, I'm hearing analysis, and I'm hearing steps that are taken. That seems like almost like a back-end priority, but really, right, you realize that foundation is everything. And the foundation, for me, is immaterial. I'm not standing on ground, I'm hearing, in this project. I'm not standing. I'm hearing I'm spinning. And if you think about, it's like a whirlpool. It's like a right, and when things vibrate, it's like spinning. I'm hearing I translate. Okay, so Pisces, you realize yet again that your role is transient in this process, and that you are, again, you're communicating a certain, you're translating a certain frequency. And I'm almost getting it as if you are translocating frequency. You're carrying frequency, and it's almost like you're forming connections, okay, that are contributing to the greater whole of what I'm hearing, the front end of what you're creating. Okay, so I'm getting specifically there's a back end and a front end, and I'm getting that the front end is I'm hearing more user friendly. Okay, that general public. Okay, as I'm hearing it, may be tuned to in a certain way, but in the shadow, okay, of performance, I'm hearing is the hand of the forces, is the light, is again the frequency. So there's something here about the preparation that goes into a certain, I'm hearing as well, recollection of events, a storyline, a showcasing of what has held meaning for us, and communicating these feelings, these emotions, this energy in just the way that you feel it will be delivered, just the way that in such a way where viewers are aligned with what it is that you're emitting and why. Okay, so it's a lot of memory. It's almost like routine, right? The work seems routine, perhaps that goes into the back end of it. But what you're working with is, yet again, it's anomalous and it's very personal to you, and only you know exactly how to put these wires in place in a certain way, so to speak. Now, this has been a process for you, Pisces. You have the Nine of Wands upright. Okay, if we can get that. Overlaying the Eight of Swords upright. 9-8 sequence. The event of justice here. And the Hanged Man in reverse. Justice upright, Hanged Man in reverse. This is your very own card in the Major Arcana, the Hanged Man, Pisces. Justice, Libra's card. Okay. You've realized that this process you've been moving through in a certain way with your eyes closed. And I'm hearing that through the process, it's been a process of forming the foundation of what your very personal ideals are. And you've understood that eventually the chrysalis effect would take place. At the moment that the maturation of this ideology that's very personal to you, created and crafted by you, Pisces, is ripe for the picking, so to speak, right? We have two characters here that depict sort of transformational quality to them. The Hanged Man, the bat, and the butterfly on the Eight of Swords card. And they're split, right, by decision, by the clarity of where we stand from one state in relation to the next, in relation to perhaps its polar opposite. The transformation of world dimensions in a certain way, worlds of thinking even, approaching matters of transformation in a I'm hearing for a number of you, in a sensational way, in a conclusive way. You have the Nine of Wands, right, that begins this line of energy that moves through. Pisces. I almost said Sagittarius. Okay. It is the moment between worlds that you realize I'm not just moving from one state to the next. I am merging every reality. And it's a matter of relaying my perspective of that. And so it's like this, Pisces, I'm getting that you're not like, I was there and now I'm here. It's like, I am neither there nor here. And the process of transformation has showed me just how transient I am. And I don't necessarily define the state of my being. I'm hearing my ideology of my being shapeshifts. And I'm hearing, I'm ready to move with it. I'm hearing for it. So I'm getting that you come to a certain clarity. Okay, yes, a certain frame of reference, I'm hearing frame of mind that clarifies certain things for you in terms of the experiential side of whatever this process has been, of reaching culmination, of perhaps a venture or project creation. But what I'm getting, Pisces, is that this ideology, I'm hearing for you, remains unbiased. Just as much, right, as there's been a certain experience in a certain dimension, and just as much as there's been the foil of that experience in another dimension, again, you're not forsaking either dimension. And it's almost as if there is this show of awareness, this sort of display in an ideological way of the frame of existing on either side of the spectrum. And I'm hearing spectrum of light. So Pisces, if what you're regarding as transformation, you're heeding the reflective nature to every place, moment, I'm hearing person in time. As you realize there is a left and there is a right. There is, right, the sun and the moon, the yin and the yang. I'm hearing for every seed there is the bloom. I realize just how correlative my stance, my measure of awareness is. And in every moment that I'm observing something, experiencing something, holding a certain perspective of reference, I realize that that's not all. That all that I'm seeing is not all that I'm hearing exists. I realize that it is a dance between worlds. And if I've danced from one side to the next, that I just simply can appreciate yes, the polarity, yes, the difference. I'm hearing also the indifference, okay? But I can also stand as a certain example. I'm hearing a show, I'm hearing show and tell in a certain way, take it as you will, of what it means to be different. What it means to hold so many aspects to my being. What it means to accept and transform my levels of self-awareness. I want to showcase that, I'm hearing. I want to showcase that. So whatever this experience has been, Pisces, that you've been moving through, perhaps, it's almost as if, there's a desire to it's like I can, hey, this experience I can share with others. It may help others to show them where I've been and where I've gone. But I'm getting that you're not judging your personal experience, okay, all the while. Now let us get a quick Celtic cross out here. Let's see if the cards. The Nine of Swords there. Okay, there is something, Pisces. Okay, let's see here. You have the Ace of Wands overlaying the Two of Pentacles, okay, in your theme, as well as the Nine of Cups, okay. Now, you have here that just sort of flopped out, the Eight of Cups in reverse yet again, pointing to almost as a spotlight. The Two of Cups upright, the Father of Wands, Father of Cups. However, I said Wands, okay, so it may be associated with this Ace of Wands, and or it may be speaking to an individual with a lot of fire in their chart, okay, speaking of matters of passion as well. However, you've got the Three of Cups upright, horizontally laid in the top right-hand corner of the spread. You have the Mother of Wands here, overlaying the Ace of Cups, overlaying the Magician. Absolutely, maybe a Sagittarius here that maybe involves, okay, with this new beginning in some shape or form. You have the Five of Swords again that wants to pop out, the Hermit, the Three of Swords, okay, mirroring this Five of Swords. Okay, whatever this conflicting nature was in pertinence to matters of emotions and love, relationships, partnerships, emotional satisfaction, the conceptualization of what will do it for us emotionally, may have been by way of a certain experience yet again that I'm here affected the way that we viewed matters of love, of seeking it, of how we idealized, yet again, conceptualized matters of love. And there may have been a lot of thinking on that, on what, how love relates to my personal philosophy and what it is that I understand drives me. Okay, now you have the Two of Wands upright, overlaying the Star, beautiful, overlaying the Daughter of Wands, okay. Focus. You are leading in and out with fire here, okay? And if there is a dream, you're pursuing it. If there's been a culmination, okay, of a certain desire, I'm hearing, you're pursuing it to its fruition, to see it live itself through. And whatever goes into that, whatever you feel you may need to do in a certain way, excuse me, Pisces, you're taking the reins with that. Okay, and I'm getting specifically in your own hands. You're taking it into your own hands. Now, there is a focus on partnership, on relationship here for you. It may have to do with an individual, yet again, who has a lot of fire and or water in their chart. Specifically water, though, someone who's very intuitive. I'm getting very, very intuitive. And I'm getting this sort of tightening on my left hand, the bottom of my palm. An individual perhaps who writes. I'm getting writes a lot. Now, I'm getting literacy, literary, okay. This may be your very own energy. If it is, speaking to the readiness for approaching the concept, the framework, the opportunity, the possibility for, I'm hearing, a new beginning in terms of, I'm hearing the harmonization of the love that I am and the reflective nature of, I'm hearing, that ember of being love all around me, to which point I see love everywhere. There's no limit. There's no definitive quality to what constitutes love in a certain way. I'm getting that for a number of you, okay? And this focus here, and it may be absolutely the readiness, the preparation for a relationship in a certain way. Take it as you will, right? But it completely redefines the paradigm of how we've been experiencing matters of love. And I'm getting that whatever this is, you're taking it seriously, very seriously. And there's a contemplation of what this experience culminates as, what it means, I'm hearing the adjunct, the social adjunct, what it means in a social way, in a community, in matters of how we connect with the grander sort of, I'm hearing public. How does this, I'm hearing shadow, how does this, I'm hearing speak for me? Okay, so you may be thinking about matters of reputation in a certain way that may be on your mind, and you may be communicating with others about this, perhaps as a form of guidance. Okay, I'm hearing counseling as to how to present this. I'm hearing strongly for a number of you, ideology. Okay, this ideology, this presentation of readiness to experience the many manifestations of you. Of you. And whoever that connects you with, okay, you're honoring the reflective relationship I'm hearing that just follows, that just proceeds. And it's like, well, you know, whoever I connect with, whoever I resonate with in a certain way, as I feel it, I'm hearing, I want to bring them on board. I want to bring them on board. But the focus here for you, Pisces, and I'm hearing Aries again, Aries, specifically with this Mother of Wands and the Magician, is on, it's not on this beginning first, this new beginning first. It's on the conceptualization, the grander framework of what you're involved in. And that forms the, I'm hearing the sort of lifeboat, okay, to carry this aspect of the project, I'm hearing back home. Okay, so thank you so very much for tuning in, Pisces. Have a beautiful mid-November and lovely Thanksgiving for those of you who do celebrate that holiday. Nonetheless, I highly recommend you tune into your rising, ascendant, or moon sign as well. Sometimes your Venus may play a role here and there in matters of love, finances, career, hobbies, things like that. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't know your signs, you can click the link below in the description box that I provide, and that will compute them for you. Otherwise, thank you all so very much, Pisces, dear Pisces, for tuning in and for your support. I appreciate it so very much, for all of your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. I'm so touched by all of you. So thank you for connecting, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.